I love video games, and I did since I was a child, to the point where I made a whole channel to talk about them, until something happened not long ago. All video games started to feel the same, repetitive, boring, uninteresting. Ubisoft. I began to lose interest in video games slowly. I felt that I am starting to lose my passion for something that was with me since I was a child, until I started looking for other games, older ones I did not play. Came across Bioshock. After seeing gameplays and a lot of positive reviews, like really positive reviews, I decided to give it a shot. By the way, this is maybe the best decision I made in my entire life. Bioshock turned out to be not just a good game or even a great game, it turned out to be one of my favorite video games of all time. And today I am going to explain why and how it restored my passion for video games. Starting with the gameplay. I do not consider myself an expert in first-person shooters. I played a lot of them like Doom, Battlefield and Overwatch, but I am still not a big fan of the genre. But Bioshock is just an whole other level. What I really hated in many first-person shooters I played is the linear gameplay, like they tell you exactly what to do and how to do it, without giving you the chance to think or interact. Like, take this, do that, follow this dude, kill Iraqi people because you're American saviors. America! Fuck yeah! That takes away what makes video games special in the first place, what makes them different from movies or TV series. Video games let you explore ways to defeat enemies and to solve puzzles yourself. And here comes the gameplay of Bioshock. And god, this game is so fun to play. Bioshock leans into more sandbox approach, giving you tools, weapons and abilities, but they do not tell you when to use this or how to use that. They give you what you need and you find out yourself the different ways to fight the slicers. There is so many ways you can kill enemies, like using the electro bolt on water to shock them and make it easier to kill them, or using telekinesis to throw back the bombs and other objects, or setting up traps. You can also make splicers fight each other. But this is just a small portion of the paths you can take, but as you go on, find new weapons and open new plasmids, it opens a whole new ocean of possibilities, and that's what makes Bioshock so fun to play. You have a lot of options, and as a shooter game, let's talk about one of the most important aspects of this genre, which is shooting. Using weapons in Bioshock feels like you're actually using something heavy and effective with great animation and sound design. For example, using the shotgun is so satisfying. Killing enemies made me feel like a happy psychopath. Like, look at this. God, I love this game. But I cannot talk about a game where you kill drug addicts with a wrench without mentioning the enemies. I cannot say there is a lot of diversity in the enemies section, but what makes killing slicers something I will never be bored of is the fact that every area introduces different creepy kinds of them. Like when you reach the Arcadia area, it gets really weird with a new type of enemies appearing, which are splicers that can teleport, use plasmids, make creepy noises, and the encounters with them proves that Bioshock is the best horror game even if it is not a horror game. Also, there is the spider slicers. I think that there is like 3 other types of slicers, but they are not the only foes you encounter. There are different kinds of turrets. Besides, there is the reason why people bought this game in the first place. This dude on the poster, the Big Daddies, which are really fun to fight, and the ironic part is that they are technically optional. I think that the only Big Daddy you have to fight is the first one. The rest ignore you until you start being an asshole and try to kill him, which gives them technically the right to kill you too. Overall, the gameplay of Bioshock is something I will never experience again, even if a lot of games tried to take inspiration from Bioshock, and many of them are actually good games, but it is just a whole other level gameplay wise. That's why it's my favorite first-person shooter of all time. Secondly, we have the world and atmosphere. One of the biggest reasons Bioshock is a masterpiece is the world of the game and its visual design. To put it simply, this game is one of the reasons I think that video games are the perfect means for world building. I know that there is a lot of movies and TV series that succeeded in creating great fictional worlds, but Bioshock goes deeper than creating a world and giving you, the consumer, the chance to see it get shown to you. Here, you are the one who explores Rapture, finding the leftovers of this capitalist civilization that was found by Andrew Ryan, and with the audio diaries that you find when moving around, it makes the world simpler to understand, but fun. So what happens here is the story of the world is told and shown to you while playing. Even this propaganda plasmid tutorials tells you how this world was, and what made it even better is the visual design. The game does not offer just good world writing, lighting. It is visually stunning, with the design style taking inspiration from the 30s and the 40s era, but with high buildings similar to the ones in New York to reflect the technological advancements prior to its time that Rapture achieved. Besides, the internal decoration of these buildings is one of the biggest contributors for Bioshock's great world building. The posters, the statues, the commercials, with the special atmosphere this game gives you moving around. Seeing the abandoned shops and markets gives you an apocalypse vibe. And remember when I said that Bioshock is the best horror game even if it is not technically a horror game? Yes, because the world of this game does more than enough to make you scared, and it does not rely on jump scares. Here, it's all psychological. For example, the area where we are introduced is Sander Cohen, who is a nice man who kills people and freezes them because he wants to make art. When you move around the area, you see how crazy this dude is. You see people frozen around you dead because of this man and its creepy reasons. Bioshock really mastered the rule of show don't tell. The way this game tells the story of Rapture is just perfect, and I can say that this approach it takes to make a believable world with a clear set of rules and rich history is what makes video games special and different in world building. Next, you have the story and overall theme. Same as the world building, the main story of the game uses what makes video games special in storytelling, which is the ability to explore. And Bioshock gives you enough clues around the world, especially using the audio diaries to give advantage to who explores, because he can know more details about the main story of the game, but that does not mean that if you do not listen to the audio diaries, the story of the game will be bad. No, it will still be great, but you will miss on a lot of fun details here and there. I love the narrative approach 2K took in this game. It gives you a rich and believable story, but also entertaining one, because the exposition, pacing, and the reveal of the story is smooth and it is experienced with the gameplay as one, which makes Bioshock compared to other games on a different other level.
It's over 9,000!
Besides, there are the characters. Most of the interaction between the player and the other characters of the game are not direct. Most of their stories are told to us through the audio diaries. Some of them you do not even meet. Despite that, their impact on the overall narrative is not affected. This is how strong the writing in this game is. For example, there is Dr. Yi Sushong, who you follow his experiments throughout the game until you reach a point where you know how he died, and all of it is built up just throughout the audio diaries, so the event of his death makes sense. But what about the ending? Is it good? Of course it is. This game has a twist villain, and we know that twist villains turn out to be most of the time really stupid. But this time, no. It all makes sense because they give you hints throughout the run of the game. On top of that, if we look at Andrew Ryan as the main antagonist, he's one of the best I have ever seen in any video game. He's not pure evil. He has reasons, he has an ideology, a vision he wanted to achieve. But obviously, it did not work out very well, and this spider dude can agree. He thought that making a hidden nation where there is the ultimate freedom of speech and creativity, where people are bound by no religion or government, is a good idea. Everyone can interpret what happened the way he wants. That's what makes the work special. But what I saw that the ultimate freedom that Andrew Ryan gave is not a good thing. Order is necessary. Boundaries are needed to maintain justice and stability. Here, Andrew Ryan did not realize that, which led to the fall of his empire, and Rapture became an arena of violence and killing. But that turned out to be good for me. I loved killing with this game. Finally, we reached to the conclusion. Bioshock is a masterpiece, not only in video games. It is one of the greatest pieces of entertainment I have ever experienced. 2K games really exceeded themselves making Bioshock.